Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Onga. Welcome back to Tech Talks. I'm joined here by Honest.
My name is Honest. I am the Business Development Officer for the Marketing Innovation Hub, where basically what I do tends to shift from your business development, product development, and coming up with plans for commercializations for entrepreneurs in the for not only the local Mafeking municipality but the broader Northwest province. And I've been doing this I think for the past 2 to 3 years, 2.5 years.
So, Buela Komora, please come back. Tell me, tell us about Mafiken Digital Innovation Hub. If somebody could ask, Mafiken Digital Innovation Hub, what does it do?
Yeah, what the Innovation Hub is, the Mafeking Digital Innovation Hub is basically the home of innovation, specifically in the Northwest. It was brainchild of uh, techies, people wanted to solve entrepreneurial issues, especially in a rural province like ours. So yeah, that's where the idea of the digital innovation hub came about. Yeah, there was a lot of back and forth about what to call it. There was a whole thing of is it supposed to be for Northwest, for Mafeking, for whatnot. But yeah, we ended up on Mafeking Digital Innovation Hub just as a place to where um, you know township and rural entrepreneurs who do lack that. The resources. We know some of the issues that entrepreneurs face, and obviously we know that there's always that gap that needs to be filled. So I think that's what the Innovation Hub has been trying to do, and I think on our behalf, we've tried to bring some of the things that we see outside, bring them back home, especially in the Mafeking setting, so that we can be able to assist entrepreneurs where we can.
So, are you guys only focused more Mahiking?
I mean, that's where the whole conversation came about, to say why did we call it Mafeking Digital Innovation Hub? But yeah, it's become a thing of now. We started it was started on campus, on the Northwest University campus, Mafeking, and then it started to grow. A lot of people started to come on board, and then we say, okay, fine, let's look for a bigger space. Then from there, from that section, that's where it came about, and then it exploded into something that we also couldn't even imagine at that point in time. To even now, where we see that we've run hackathons all over the country. We've been to Limpopo, we've been to the Western Cape, we've been to KZN. So it's that thing of now we're at a space where we've touched a lot of entrepreneurs all over the country. So even to this day, I'm proud to say we have entrepreneurs in the Eastern Cape, we have entrepreneurs that we support in
That are under Mafiken Digital
yes
Innovation Hub.
under the digital innovation hub.
So when you say a lot of people, or you went to the university, who are those lot of people?
You want names?
No, if it's
Okay.
organizations, you can mention them, but if it's people, but categorize it, Banaba University
Yeah.
employed people, people who wanted to start their businesses, you can perhaps try to
I mean,
break it down.
from what I can say is, um, let's put it like this. There were students in we were students in Mafeking campus, very interested in technology, very interested in business, very interested in trying to build something in the Northwest province where we can say from there were students. They used to be get together, have hackathons, have makeathons, have idea sessions, especially within the computer science and information systems faculties, on what are some of the things that we looked up, the guys that we looked up to. Your Mark Zuckerberg, your Bill Gates, your Bezos. So some of the guys that we looked up to, we said, okay, fine, let's get together. There was a coding club set up. After the coding club, 4 or 5 guys, and after that there was hackathon sessions where we forced the school to, okay, let's have hackathons, let's go to Porsche, let's go to these other places and see what are they doing in the innovation space, in the technology space. And then yeah, from there on, a lot of people came on board, lecturers, so one of the lecturers, I don't know if I should say his name, but yeah, Dr. Ace was one of the guys who was facilitating some of the things. And then, yeah, about to say, now from these ideas, let's build something tangible. Let's build something that can be, that can people can see and people can interact with. And then that is just one of the where the Commissioner Ndaba actually came on board, and he was the mainstay in and organizing all of these people, your entrepreneurs, your techies, your lecturers, and then he was able to collaborate everyone so that they can build this thing called the Mafikeng Digital Innovation Hub,
Okay.
and that was his brainchild.
So now I'm tempted. I'm lost. What hackathon again? What is hackathon?
Yeah, great question. What hackathon basically describes is what are ideas? In essence, what is an idea? I want to build something that helps people. I want to make something new. I want to create something that is of value, right? So how that chain goes about is that you must have an idea. You must test that idea out, and you must have other like-minded people give you critical feedback on that idea. So in essence, that's what a hackathon would be. It would be an event where you spend 24 to 48 hours in one setting with all of these different, the guys that I was talking about, your techies, your entrepreneurs, and people who are,
Techies, the ones that you're wearing now.
okay, not tech, TECH.
Techs.
No.
Tech.
Geeks, nerds. Do you know the terms of?
That's what I'm saying. I'm lost.
Okay.
Because I get it, there's
Let me bring
someone
it back. Let me bring
who's
it back.
out there watching and they want to understand. Because
Okay.
now when you're saying techies, I'm from a different field.
Okay.
And like you're saying, for a hackathons, you would have an idea and you would have like 48 hours, 24 hours, depending on the life or duration.
Yeah.
So does it mean whatever thought that I have, I'm not going to mention choose because I'm lost. Ha ke batla go etsa Messi, I can just come to you e be ke joina the hackathon.
No, for not specifically for that genre. What I mean when I say use words like techie or nerd or geeks, it was specifically very specific to a specific subsector, which is your computer sciences, your information system. So it will be things where you take a computer, give it to a couple of kids in your information systems class, or INFS 1 or whatever, or your computer science class, and say, okay, fine. With all the knowledge that you've been taught in schools, with your computer science and your programming and your basically the back end systems of how a system is supposed to work, what is that value that can be brought about from that? Do you
Okay.
understand? So that's where we say when
So
we
you
talk.
make something tangible
Yes,
out
you
of.
make something tangible or make something of value. You understand?
So, if I may ask, what is it that you have created out of hackathon ever since you started implementing
Myself
everything?
personally.
Pardon?
Personally.
No. Yeah, no, the hub, Mafikeng Digital Innovation Hub. How many kids did you have who created something out of the idea and the thought?
One of my mainstays. I'll just give you an example of some of the things that have been done. What we used to do is that we used to go to your is it still called senior secondary schools, but yeah, your high schools and whatnot. We would engage with learners, and learners are very sharp with these things, especially in this day and age. So one of an example is a young lady by the name of Wiswa who came up with maybe I won't explain it properly, but it's basically a heated pad for ladies when they are in that time of when they are experiencing those things, and it'll be just a matter of trying to comfort them in that aspect. And it's just like it's not a new idea, but it's something that she wants to be tested out in the market, right? So what it wants to attack is basically let's look at all of the problems that we have in South Africa in general.
Yeah.
And make sure that we use
Trying to
our
solve
young
those
minds
problems.
and solve those problems.
I
Do you
think I
understand?
need that. Where can I find it? I really need it.
You need that.
Yeah.
That one particular. For now, we're still assisting with the product development of it. Obviously, because it's a health tech sort of thing, it needs a lot of licensing and a lot of things. So we're still trying to fine tune it on the business side and on the product side.
So, but the prototype has successfully been done.
Yeah, the prototype was done on that hackathon. Yeah, so yeah, it was that's just an example of some of the things that we want to have. So when I use those terms, it'll be just, even if you just have an idea, give us a problem statement, give us a solution, and let's test out that idea.
I want to dwell a bit on this particular lady who created this thing for us, because we ladies are many here on earth, and we have that problem.
Yeah.
So, which departments are you guys working with to ensure that this particular thing becomes a success?
So what we want to do right now is that we are getting conversations with your TTIC and your DSI, because obviously at this point in time it's still a lot of R&D, your research and development on the aspects, your particular testing, and it becomes very sensitive because it's the human body. So it becomes a thing of, there's an elevated compliance when it comes to anything that touches the human body. So we're getting in contact with your TTIC, your DSI, to make sure that in some of these things, creating some of the health technology that is very much needed. What is the compliance that must be followed? What are the SABS standards when it comes to health, especially it comes to things of women's health. She was just a school child, so she understood the problem, but she doesn't understand the medical jargon,
Implication
or
or something.
the medical implications that come to it. So it's also a thing of trying to educate her in that part of saying, fine, you have this idea, you have a prototype, so now how is it to make sure that you can commercialize? Commercialize is basically getting the IP, the patent, or and having it access to and putting it onto the market. So it'll be a whole pipeline, especially on the innovation front. It becomes the thing of, the pipeline tends to be very long. So that's why you say, okay, fine, what are the ways that we can shorten that pipeline?
But is it promising? How is the recipient that side? Are they receiving it well? Are they willing to help you, to meet you halfway in order for this particular idea to become a success?
I mean, yeah, when it comes to things like that, the departments are very much eager to assist where they can. But obviously, as we all know, the resources are an issue. The knowledge itself is an issue, because not a lot of, if you go to a lot of universities, there's not a lot of research into that aspect. So you find that there must be a lot of research done before you can even say, okay, fine, this technology is ready to be used in the open market. So it's just that thing of trying to close that gap.
So, honesty, tell us about the success stories. What is it that you guys have done and it was a success?
When it comes to success stories, I mean, it varies, right? From, if you can get an entrepreneur from A to C, that will be a success story. So it'll just be a thing of, where is it easiest for us to facilitate? It's either their business operations, their product has been developed, or the licensing has been achieved.
Think about the final product, or the person got everything. Their business is run and it's up and running. That kind of a success story to say, we had this particular person, we did 1, 2, 3 from point A until point Z.
Okay. I think most successful success story would be a lady by Paula Maseko, who, I mean, yeah, as a business, you don't actually get to a point where you're satisfied with whatever that you're building. But I think, yeah, a young lady from a neighboring village called Lonely Park village, where we assisted all of the incubation trainings, product development. She's a lady who makes her own hair products. So it was a thing of trying to make sure that when it comes to market access, because I think that's where everything starts. Is do you have a palatable market for whatever it is that you're selling? Obviously, beauty is something that beauty hair and hair care is something that's growing very. It's a thing of now. How is it that we actually adapt your product so that it will be able to meet that market of yours? So I think that will just be one of our success stories. And then obviously we have varying concepts on what is success. You know, you have an idea, you had to change it. How is it we assisted on that regard? Your outward missions, which basically talk about getting your product into a bigger market, into a bigger space, and things like that. And then yeah, I think those are just an example of some of our success stories. And then obviously it's always a thing of how is it we go forward with entrepreneurs after they've left such settings, because it's not a thing of what we are right now. It's just a stepping stone so that you can also go to other stakeholders. Like I said earlier on, we're not only the innovation hub, we're various stakeholders who have more expertise in having a final product. So that's where we are. We are. We're just a stepping stone so that we can get further assistance. Because obviously it's just a small. It's just a small team from Mafeking. There's obviously a bigger ecosystem there, especially in the entrepreneurial space, where we assist entrepreneurs not only on a grassroots level. It must also go to commercialization, make sure that it meets up the proper market standards, especially if you're going to import and export and things like that. So that's where we are the stepping stone in that regard.
So I want to understand, who are those people that you guys are working with to ensure that the people that you guys are assisting are receiving the help that they need?
Some of our stakeholders, they vary. You have funding houses, you have government agencies, you have uh, development banks that assist not only on products but also skills. You know, so it becomes a thing of you must have these multifaceted stakeholders who do things that you yourself wouldn't be able to do on your own. Do you understand what I mean? So it becomes a thing of getting our entrepreneurs glued to these different stakeholders, making sure that if once you leave here, you have a prototype that's out, how is it going to be tested? Obviously, the innovation hub doesn't have the facilities to test for. There was once a lady wanted to test for was it sickness that mucus is, how mucus develops, or how sickness develops into mucus or something like that. But it was just a thing of we don't have the resources for that
That you are
biotest,
able
but
to
we
help
were
people
able to.
to get
Yeah,
help.
yeah. We were able to connect her with
Okay.
SABS testing, some of the testing facilities at the Council for Science and Research, CSIR, and yeah.
Honestly, is there anything that MDIhub is planning for youth this month?
Uh, what we are planning for this month is in collaboration with the Green Youth Network, we're going to have a Green Youth Indaba hosted in Sun City from the 17th to the 19th, where there's going to be prizes that will be given up to 750,000 rands. So there'll be pitchings, it'll be I think over 1,000 participants. So we'll be trying to take we have I think we have two entrepreneurs that will be competing for that prize money. And yeah, it'll just be a whole week of young people innovating in the clean tech and climate change space, where you have an idea, you have already have a business, but it's a thing of you have the chance to pitch your idea. And yeah, I think the most special thing about it is meeting other entrepreneurs in the province that are actually doing the same thing that we're doing, and
Is it
making.
only based for Northwest people, or is youth around
I mean, it's youth around the country.
the country?
It's the Green Youth Network that it's the Green Youth Network that is hosting it. But for now, we have to fight for them to bring it to the Northwest, because it's always been a thing of they take it to Western Cape or they take it to KZN. So it was a thing of okay, fine, let's look at the under-resourced provinces, and then they say they're going to bring it this side. So yeah, I think we've been because we are implementing partner for the Technology Innovation Agency. They said okay, fine, let's take some of our guys and make sure that they can be able to showcase what they have onto the Green Youth Network.
So how far is it? Do we have youth applying and trying to enter to win? Are you saying 750 rands or 750?
750,000.
What?
750,000. I gave recently.
Hey, there's a lot of money. So, what does this money do? Are you just going to give it to somebody to do whatever that they want with it, or you're just going to guide them on ensuring that they implement a successful business for themselves?
No, it's broken down in different categories, so it's not going to be one. Oh no,
750.
it's going to be
Okay.
broken. Maybe it's 10,000 here, 10,000 there, for all of these different ideas. But basically, it's just a matter of what he is trying to do is basically bring the idea of clean technology into the ecosystem. So we find work on those clean ideas, work on those. We recently had the National Clean Tech Innovation Challenge, which talks about rehabilitation of the mine land, especially when you look into the northwest setting. Lots of mines. You can look at examples of dilapidated towns, Stilfontein, Koster, all of these towns used to have mining, but now the mining is gone. So now the place feels like it's an economic dilapidation. It's also a physical dilapidation. So now it's making sure that we can bring ideas to make sure that how can we revive these towns using clean technology. So I think it's just been that idea of testing those ideas out in the market and having those and giving the people who have those ideas an opportunity to make sure that the ideas can come to life. Not only in It's not only been a South African push. Even you go to things like UNID, United Nations Development Organizations, they are the ones who are thrusting us into making sure these things. And it's going to talk to something else that I want to talk about, which is the Global Clean Tech Innovation Program that we've started to run on this on the 1st of June, which talks to clean tech, climate change, and circular economy, which delves deep into some of these aspects that we'll start with in the Green Youth Indaba, and then going forward, some of the ideas that can come out from there, and then make sure that they can go to academies to be taught about what is clean tech, what is circular economy, how to take care of the environment, and how to make sure that your businesses can actually reduce the carbon footprint that they are letting out into the ecosystem. Especially, I think we grew up in an age where we all know about the scourge of climate change. I think when I was 20, 30 years back, we said your CFCs are going to be the ones that end the ozone layer. And now it became a thing of now they've reduced CFC usage in all appliances, and it was 90% of the market, but we've actually managed to reduce it. So it also becomes a thing of if businesses, if governments, and if us as a society are deliberate about trying to achieve something, it can be done. And we've seen that. So now it's a thing of trying to urge that into these rural, under-resourced provinces like ours in the Northwest.
So tell us, Hori, if somebody wants to apply, Mafikeng is a small place, and I don't know, Hori, have you reached the amount of people by Hori you guys wants to convey this message to in Mafikeng? So how can one do it? How can the youth get hold or reach whatever that you want them to reach?
Yeah, basically, for young people, I think what we're trying to do, or where we try to place ourselves, is be in the center of where young people are, whether it be on your NW campus, your Taleto TVETs, where we try to trying to work with your student chapters on various aspects on what they do, and make sure that we can blend it so that young people are very in touch with some of the things that that we're doing, because it's very, what we are is basically the pipeline between your government agencies and the SMEs on the ground. So we're trying to make sure that we do have those, we can funnel all the young people into some of the activities that we do. And obviously, yes, we do have challenges. The information spreading within the Northwest, it becomes a thing of, for them to hear it, we once had a story to say that if we advertise something, it will just fly around people without them noticing, but it has to go through a mainstay like maybe Corsi or a particular ward councillor and things like that. So those are just some of the things that we're trying to work around to say that, okay, fine, we do have these activities. How can we make sure that not only the people that are on campus or on the TVET colleges that have access to it. And for most part, they're not even from Mafeking, they're not even from the province.
Yeah.
So now we're trying to be deliberate and make sure that we can get to the people who are from the Northwest, because we know that not even data, information to be reached, or in get them reaching that information, it might take some time. So for us to even say, okay, fine. One of the things that we did, we had in the South African Innovation Week, which talks to your students, your teachers, your tuck shop stakeholders, to say, okay, fine, what innovations are you doing, and especially when you look into service delivery. And we went to, I think it was Bojanala district, which is Mokwasa or Mokwasi.
Mokwase.
Mokwasa, that one. And then we went to Freiburg. We also went to Lutlakane, where we try to get in touch with the local youth, because we know that obviously for you to even see a Facebook post, okay, for my feeling Innovation Hub, you need to have data. And we know that some of the resources that some young people do not have. So we have been trying to reach the province in a very deliberate way, but we still have more to do. We still have a lot more to do. But what I always encourage young people to do is make sure that if you have an idea, test out that idea. Make sure that you have other people hearing about that idea and try to implement it as fast as possible. Because I think one of the things that's holding a lot of, I'm not saying it's they're skeptical for a reason, but it becomes a thing of when you take out your idea to someone else, it becomes a thing of what are you, or they're going to steal it, or they're going to take it, and it becomes a thing of that is more of a chain to yourself than to other people from taking that idea, if it makes sense.
It does make sense, but don't you think before you could tell somebody your idea, you should perhaps follow the procedures that are right to get people who are right to assist you? Ebile ke nagana kgang ya ko Vodacom that once happened.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that is
please
true.
call
That
me. Do
that
you
is true.
remember? Do you
That is
remember
true.
that incident?
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
So don't you think it's best to follow the right channels, like but MDIhub, to come and assist you, because we know that they are genuine. They will definitely assist you in the right way.
Yeah, that is true. What that becomes then, it has to be, then it becomes a bureaucracy for yourself to say, I have to. One of the examples that I use, the technology transfer in the Northwest Province. Where does that sit? It sits on one place. That's Potchefstroom on the Potch campus. So unless you have access to that, you will not have what they call technology transfers, where you take your idea, you patent your idea, you commercialize your idea. Do you understand what it means? So it adds an extra bureaucracy to yourself. That's why we're saying we're trying to bring a lot more what we call living labs, hubs, onto the province. One of the living labs that we have is in Majamantu mine, which is in Musiane village, where it's trying to bring a collective of trying to bring that technology onto the minds of young people, so that they know, I have an idea, what must you do? Obviously, you do not know what WIPO is. WIPO is the Intellectual Property Organization, which helps and assists with some of the things that they actually do say, okay, fine, I want my idea to be protected. How do I do that? Make sure that you know what CIPC is, how to go to the IP portal, and things like that, which is available for anyone, but it's just that lack of knowledge, or even a know-how. How do you go about it? How do you go about validating your idea, creating a provisional patent, and things like that? It's just not there. So that's why we're saying, let's try and bring that, have everybody in one room, make sure that you have students, you have lecturers, you have entrepreneurs, you have people who have these ideas, and give them a thorough way to go about to make sure that the idea is protected, and it can be tested out in the market.
Honest, thank you so much for joining us. So, if somebody is listening and wants to reach us, how can they do so?
Yeah, we can go to either one of our two locations, but I think the one in town is easier, at 32 James Watt Crescent in the industrial side, behind the Crossing Mall. Yeah, and then you can find us at info@mafihub.co.za.
Gore ke eletsa gore ka re nka be ke itse go fofa ke kgone go isa such an information to the youth mo Mahikeng, ke kgone gore molaetsa o mokanakana o botlhokwa o fitlhelele bašwa ba rona. Ke lebogile thata Honest for joining us mo thokong ya rona. Bašwa ba Mahikeng, bašwa ba Northwest, ke eletsa gore ka re le ka itseela molaetsa o le applyeng bagaetsho le reaching out to the MDIhub Mafikeng Digital Innovation Hub gore le kgone go itse gore le ka itshimololela yang dikgwebo potlana tsa lona, dikgwebo tsa lona gore le kgone go atlega. As we wrap it up, guys, I want to thank you so much for joining us. Please do like, subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much. It's a wrap.
Really.